Greetings. So I currently have my phone clamped in a vise, which isn't a great idea, but I'm going to run through a few different things and tell you what I like, what I don't like, and why. I'm currently refinishing the spoiler. I've just done a few bit of sanding marks to flat off a few things just before doing the clear coat. There's another video that's all about how I've like re-destroyed it, I suppose. But yeah, I'll go through it. Hang fire. So I'm not affiliated or anything like that with any of these products. This is just purely what I've gone through and what I end up enjoying using most for different reasons. So I'll just take you through what the current state of the spoiler is. So currently, as you can see, it's been painted and there's a few sanding marks, and especially over this end there's quite a lot more there. Because the paint reacted up there, and there we go, you can see that nicely in the light there. So I'll run through the first thing. So this stuff I use for deeper scratches. However, this isn't that deep. This is only between 1500 grit and 5000. So it's only very, very mild, but the 1500 will be the challenge. There is something slightly more abrasive, which if I just go into my little cupboard and not destroy everything, is you have this stuff, which is the 300. And that is actually really good. It's expensive for what it is, but it does the job. So the products I'm going to be using is going to be the C4 Clear Cut, the Super Resin, and maybe the Butter Wax or the Extra Gloss Protection. I do like that, and it smells nice, and it's a warm day, and it just reminds me of like summer and holidays. So that's why I like using that kind of, and it does a good job. But hey ho, I'll walk you through it now. So I'm not going to waffle on. I'm just going to fly through this. So the weapon of choice is the Milwaukee Stubby. Lidl do a little version, but you've got to get it kind of while it's there. I love Lidl. So you could use your hand if you really want, but I do definitely recommend a machine. The pad that I'm using is again from the same supermarket, and it's just a nice little cheap sponge, and it does its job. Just take your time with it, I suppose. So as you can see, these are the different sanding marks that are on the clear coat, and this is the result I'm trying to go for. I've just done a little test patch there, and if you can see from there into there, there is some deeper scratches, and they are in underneath the clear coat because I was rushing this job, and yeah, it's for a friend, so if I need to do it again at some point, then I will do. So let's crack on, shall we? So you want just enough, just a thingy, and then just rub it in a little bit so it doesn't fly everywhere. And here we go. Start slow. But if you don't start slow, it'll just fly out everywhere. Right, that didn't take long. Let's have a quick look. There we go, miles better. Miles better. So that's the clear. Well, so the clear coat has just done that, and there we go. Let's have a quick look now, see what that's like. That's got rid of most of the sanding marks. I might actually try a different product that goes a little bit deeper. Yeah, because I'm not overly happy with that. If I have to bust out the big polisher, then so be it. So I'm going to have a go with this stuff and see if it gets us any better. If not, then I'll have to go even harsher. See, the marks I'm trying to get rid of are the ones just up the top here. Oh, I felt like Bob Ross then. So I'm going to take a little bit more time, so I might end up skipping this bit, but just so that you can see what's going on. I may have put a bit too much on. It looks like sun cream. Now, I'm totally aware that this took a little bit longer. I mean, only by a minute or so. And the scratches that remain are, annoyingly, the ones that are underneath the clear coat. And that's from me rushing it earlier. But we do have a nice finish regardless. But you can only see that because I've got my massive light on it. And if I put that light on, it's even worse. I know I'm not doing myself any favours here. I might go in with the sanding procedure again and just seeing if I can get any closer with it. But that's what that polish does anyway. So I'm going to go with 1500, 2000 and 3000 just to try and get out these deeper scratches here. So spray on water, don't be shy with water, it's fine. And then simply back and forth. Now you should probably use a block, which I might end up opting for soon. But I just wanted to give this a go and see to what stage I get. Now, I know that these scratches have actually been caused by a tiny bit of grit from me earlier sanding it prior to this video. Now, I messed up. So, I'm going to just go back a step and sand again. And hopefully, correct it. I'm not going to take too long with it. Because the scratches aren't that deep. Now let's have a quick look, change towel now, and let's see where those scratches are. Right, I tell you what, I'm just going to do this in one take, straight from 1500 grit to whatever's left on my sponge here, just to see what happens. See if we're learning together, are we? Are we learning? What's the result? I don't think it's going to be that good, but we shall see. And that line is gone. So, I just need to obviously sand it with better grit, but I will stay with the 1500 there. And yeah, I'll finish this bit off now. So, like an absolute pleb, my light stand there just fell on the spoiler. So now we have a new problem. Look at that, right there. See, I'm halfway through sanding that down, right? So it's all nice, ready to... And then it fell, and now we have a real world scratch. So I'm going to do the same process, 1500, 2000 grit, 3000 grit. I've opted to use one of these fabric ones. But yeah, absolute joy. So I've come outside, it is warm. And I've been continuously wet and dry and flattening this back because I hate being a perfectionist, but it has to be done. So now I'm onto the polishing stage again. Why do I do this to myself? Like, I've no idea. Right, so this is turning into a comedy video. I'm using a rotary polisher to get through this. So I'm just sick of the sight of this spoiler. Let's not go crazy. You can tell this is none of this has been planned or prepared. I should have actually bolted the spoiler down, but here we are. I'm using a wool pad because it's just a little bit more aggressive. I'm just going to spray a little spritz of water on there just to help move the polish a bit more. And the thing is with a rotary, everyone gets scared of them, but all you've got to do is just keep moving. But I am going to finish off with a random orbit after. So that's what I've used. I quite like it. Let's just give this a quick buff now, and fingers crossed we've got somewhere a lot nicer than it was, as you can see. I will use my other polisher, my little one, just to finish off some of the little areas, but that is using Turtle Wax's One and Done, which has been my favourite products by theirs for a while. It still looks very hazy on the camera, I've just noticed, but in person it's actually a little bit better. I do need to go in a little bit more with a finer polish, which I shall do in just a moment. Here we go. And there is that. Let's give it a quick buff. And I've actually lost the rag that I use. Hang on, there we go. And we give that a little buff like so. And as you can see, it is a hell of a lot better. Right, I'll finish the full thing now. So this is the stage I'm up to. I've finished the sanding, I've done the compound, I've done the polish. Compound I did use was that, One and Done, and then the polish that I opted for in the end was the P4, which it smells gorgeous. It does. If you like what they call them, Parma Violets, that's the thing. Or refreshers it smells more like. But anyway, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm going to continue now and do the other side, and then flip it back this side, and then put the final layer of glaze on, which will be this stuff here. It will be that, and it's always nice. Happy days, thumbs up. So I've just applied the extra gloss protection, and as you can see here, whilst it's drying, it's coming up quite nice. And here it is now. It's still partially flashed, but I've just polished this side up and buffed it up, and it's quite nice. And here we go, the final product. Obviously you can see my shadow, but we are nice and polished now. I hope you've enjoyed watching me fight with that thing and you know, like start over like 5 times. But yeah, I might do another one, something like this, something working on something else, who knows. I'm always faffing about making something. I've just got so many different ideas. But yeah, welcome to my mind.